We're in Word 2019, JasperActive Lesson 3. We're going to do the first part of organizing list information. So this activity tends to be a little bit on the long side and can be a little confusing. There are 6 steps total, but you can actually do step 6 independently, so that will be featured in part 2. Right now we're going to do steps 1 through 5. So the first thing we're going to do is format some text. So with the HR training document open, we're going to ensure our cursor is in the training seminar line, and you can see it is. There we go. And we're going to go to the Home tab in the Styles group, and we're going to select Heading 1 in the Quick Styles Gallery. Now, if you don't see Heading 1 right here, click on the More button to open up the whole gallery, and you can find it there. When you find it, go ahead and click on it, and that's going to apply Heading 1 to Training Seminar. For step 2, we want to select the coaching files and project headings and apply a Heading 2 style. Now, to do this faster, I'm going to select coaching files. I'm going to press and hold the control button and then click and drag to select project. This way I've selected non-consecutive text. Up to the Home tab, to the Styles group, I'm going to click on Heading 2. Again, if you don't see it here, just click on that More button. That will open up your whole gallery and you should be able to find it there. Mark that as answered. Step 2, we're going to apply bullets. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. So right underneath coaching files, we have 4 points, 4 text points. I'm going to click and drag to select all 4 of them, even though there's a space between here. I'm going to select all 4 of those points. I'm going to go to the Home tab and to the paragraph group, and I'm going to click on the bullets icon. What you're going to see is that has now added a bullet to every single text point that I selected, not applying one to this blank line. So mark as answer to go to step 3. We're going to scroll down a little bit, and underneath where it says project, we're going to select the text that starts with the word measures and ends with the word storyboard. Now you're going to see on this text, some of them start with a dash, right? They've already been, there's been a symbol applied here, and we're going to see what happens when we click on numbering. So we're going to be in the Home tab, paragraph group, and we're going to click on the numbering icon. Now what you should see is this applies numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to all of the lines that did not have the dash. The 2 lines that did have the dash, you'll now see are indented more as subpoints underneath the appropriate ones. We're going to select the first line with a dash. So that's the one that starts with talk sheet. So I'm going to click and drag all the way to the end of that line. Make sure that whole line is selected. And then up here on the Home tab in the paragraph group, I'm going to click the drop down arrow for the bullets. I want to select the solid bullet symbol. That's the one that's just a filled in black circle. And you can see when I hover over it that it actually changes the way it looks. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And because I only had this line selected, that's the only one it applied that bullet to. Now we're going to change how this bullet looks. We're going to go up here again to the drop down for bullets. And all the way down at the bottom, we're going to select Define New Bullet. I'm going to click on it. It's going to open up a dialog box, and underneath where it says bullet character, it's going to give me a few options here. So symbol, picture, and font. I'm going to click on the symbol button. It's going to open up a new pop-up with some options for me. And at the top, you're going to notice there's a section that says font, and under font, it says symbol. I want to change this. I'm going to click on this drop down. I want to find the Wingdings font style. So I'm going to scroll down to the W's, or you can click the down arrow all the way down until we find Wingdings. Now there's a couple of different wingding options. We want just the first one, the one without a number after it. I'm going to click on that and it's going to give me a whole new selection of symbols. Now I can select any arrow that I like as long as it's pointing to the right. So I like this one right here, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click OK again. And now you'll see that my bullet has changed to this symbol instead. Now we're still in step 3. We're on number 7. On the ruler, we're going to drag the left indent marker. So first of all, make sure your ruler is visible. If you do not see it, click on the View button, find the Show group, and make sure that the checkbox is checked for ruler. So see, I can remove it. I can add it back in. You want to make sure you can see that ruler because your left indent marker is this little guy right here. So these guys, there's 3 different ones. We've got our first line indent, we've got our hanging indent, and then we have our left indent. So when you hover your cursor over it, it will tell you what they are. You want to be real careful. It can be kind of tricky to get that left indent marker. So make sure just the point of your cursor is on it. And when you hover, it should tell you left indent when it says that you've got it. I'm going to click and hold it. Now you're going to see there's a dashed line that shows up all the way down, straight down my page. This is showing me where my left indent is right now. Now I want to move this over to the right until the arrow lines up with the I in initiative. So here's the I in initiative right here. There's my arrow. You can see that I've lined them up. So see, do it again. There we go. Just like that. Now for this next step, we're going to use the Control Y function to repeat what we just did. Now the Control Y function can be very, very persnickety. If you click on anything or do anything between what you're trying to have it repeat, it will not work. So be very careful that you don't click anything after you've moved this line. Click into the line that says irreversible progress trap, press and hold Control and tap the letter Y. Okay, now you'll see it didn't work for me, right? It redid this one. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to select this line up here, go up to my left indent marker, click and drag it to the right spot. Then I will click into irreversible, press and hold Control, tap the letter Y. Now that time it worked, right? So what my goal was to move this line to the same spot. So again, that Control Y function can be really, really tricky to do. It takes a little bit of practice. So if it doesn't work the first time, just undo what you did, do it again, and try that Control Y again. All right, we're going to click anywhere in the bullet with the arrow. That's this one right here. So I can just click in this line. I don't have to select the whole thing. We're going to use the Format Painter to apply this bullet to this dash. So I'm going to go up to my Home tab. In my clipboard group, I'm going to click on the little paintbrush. So the Format Painter is a phenomenal tool. I use this all the time. It saves me a lot of time because it doesn't copy the text, it just copies the formatting. So I'm going to click on this, and what you're going to notice is once I've clicked on it and I move my mouse, it stays highlighted. And if I move my cursor around, you're going to see there's now a little paintbrush next to it. That's telling me, oh, you have some formatting copied. Now I'm going to click right down here in this line, and you'll see that that arrow appears because that was the formatting here. It applied here as well. And now my Format Painter is not selected anymore. I'm going to mark step 3 as answered and go to step 4. We're going to scroll down in our document a little bit, and we're going to find the 3 lines below the benchmarks diagram. So this says benchmarks. Here's a diagram, and below that, there's my 3 points. So I'm going to select these 3. And then I'm going to click on the bullets icon. Now what you're going to see is it should apply those arrow bullets, because that's what I just had, I was using above. So it's going to apply those arrow bullets. Now while those 3 lines are still selected, I'm going back up to my paragraph group. I'm going to click on the decrease indent button. Oh no, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. I want to click on the arrow drop down for bullets, and I'm going to select the solid bullet choice. And now I'm going to click the decrease indent button. And what you should see is it's actually going to change it into numbers. I'm going to click that decrease indent button again until it's all the way over to the left. And even though it's still numbers, I'm going to go back up here to my bullets icon. I'm going to click it again. It should apply solid bullets. So it's just showing you how your text behaves when you're using different bullets and numbering. Mark step 4 is answered. Go to step 5. This is the last step for part 1 of this activity. So we're going to scroll down to page 2. All right, we have a diagram here. I'm going to select the 4 lines that start with the word direct and end with outcome only. Outcome only abdicate. There we go. So I'm going to click and drag these 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now on the home tab in the paragraph group, I'm going to click on numbering. Now what you should see is it might start you off at the number 6, because above we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's automatically thinking, hey, maybe you want to continue those same numbers. Now, a lot of students I find with this activity in particular, sometimes something happens while they're doing it. If you don't do it exactly step by step by step, it can sometimes mess this up. And you might see a 1 here instead. Regardless, whether it's a 6 or a 1, what you want to look for is this little icon that shows up to the left of the first number here. This is your autocorrect options button. There's a little drop down, and if you click on it, if you have a number 6, it will say restart numbering. If you have a number 1, it will say continue numbering. No matter what option it gives you, go ahead and click on it. So now mine says 1, 2, 3, 4. If yours is continued numbering, so if now you see a 6, just click that one more time and go back to restart numbering. All right, our goal is to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. We're going to scroll down and we're going to select the 3 last points in this document. So underneath where it says different levels of initiative, I'm going to select these 3 points. It starts with the word wait, ends with the word do. And we're going to go to the numbering icon and we're going to click on the drop down. All right, so no, I'm sorry, we're just going to click on numbering. All right, and again, it's probably going to continue from what we had up here. So now I have 5, 6, and 7. So before we use this autocorrect option, but we're going to use a different way this time. So up here on our numbering icon, I want to click on the drop down. And at the very bottom, there's a set numbering value option. So I'm going to click on that. Now, this is just another way to restart your numbering, or if you wanted to change whatever number it is, so maybe you didn't want to continue, but you want it to start with a different number than number 1, you could do that here. It's also just another way to do this. So here where it says set value to, I'm going to change that to 1. So I'm going to click the down arrow until I get to 1, and I'm going to click OK. All right, and now it's showing me 1, 2, and 3. With those 3 points still selected, I'm going to actually change the style. So I'm going to go up to my numbering drop down. At the very bottom, I'm going to click Define New Number Format. And under Number Style, I'm going to click that drop down, and I want to select the third option, which is a lowercase I. So click on that one, and then click OK. And now you should see it's changed that numbering format for you. And that's the end. Go ahead and mark as answered and submit.